morning, good morning. Good morning. All right, before I start, I'm not going to be long. I'm not going to talk about, I'm going to give you the real, I guess. I'm going to give you the stuff that people don't talk about. But before I do that, I want all the important people, just the important people to stand up. All the important, it should be everybody. Y'all slow to stand up. It should be everybody. I guess the 8 o'clock service kind of slow. All right. So, my dream. This is a lot. This big. I didn't think I'd make the board, but I appreciate whoever put me on the board.
Mama.
So, anybody who knows my mom, she can be a little,
Tell the truth.
Abandoned, a little crazy at times, but one thing we do in our family, she make us write out our dreams, write out our goals. And I started playing football 6 years old, around 6, and I got to about 7 or 8, and I really realized I wanted to do this for a living. And when they told me they're paid to do this and they're paid to go to school, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. That's what I should do, you know. But it's definitely not easy. It's definitely not easy. And you talk about dreams, the most important thing I would say about that is believing in yourself. Because, I mean, I heard 1,000 no's growing up. You know, my first time playing football match with Dick, I was 6 years old, and I was the smallest person on the team. A lot of people here knew me when I was yay high. I was the skinniest guy, the smallest, and from 6 to 10, I broke 2 bones. My right ankle and my left ankle. And everybody told me to quit, you know, you're too small, you're too little, give up. And it was like, nah, that's, you know, I was like, no, that's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep going. And I got to about 13, 14, broke my leg, my tibial bone. I had a cast from my hip all the way down. And people were like, see, you know, this is God telling you to stop. This is God telling you to stop. You know, sometimes you gotta know if it's your dream, God can tell you before he tell anybody else.
That's right, that's right.
It was just important to me to keep pushing, keep going forward. And I mean, the first day of practice, I remember going out there and all the kids had their helmets, uniforms on. And I was like the only kid with nothing on, I just had cleats. And for 2 weeks straight, I was just out there and I was like, I want to give up. Like, you know, they didn't even let me practice, they ain't giving me equipment. And she was like, no, now my baby. So she went down there, she wasn't gonna save me. So. She told the coach a few words, you know. I mean, you know, y'all can just imagine. I know everybody gonna save the whole life, you know. So,
that's right.
and I remember, you know, sometimes it's great to have a support system. You know, you got kids, you got a husband, a wife, you know, support them. And she told the coach a few words, and I remember the next practice they gave me a uniform. They was like, I guess they tried to punish me. They just threw me the ball and they told the people, no, go kill that boy, go kill Ali. And to be honest, I was scared to death. So I just ran. And they found out that people couldn't catch me. So they was like, oh man, you're gonna keep this kid. So I definitely, I thank my mom and I thank the people at an early age. But then, you know, I knew that was my dream. So I kept pushing. And now I was in high school. And I was a freshman, but I thought I could play varsity. And they were like, oh, no, you're too little. You can't play no varsity football. This is for the big boys. I'm like, no, I can play varsity. So I was out there, remember, and I messed up my shoulder, tore my cup off. They was like, oh, that's another injury. This guy telling you to stop. I was like, nah, this is, you know, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I kept pushing, and it's just, it gets hard when sometimes your support system start to fail you. Your support system start to tell you, the people who told you all along you can do it, and they start to slowly fall off. You gotta know, you gotta just keep pushing, no matter what's your job, occupation, you gotta keep pushing, keep praying, and deep down in my heart, I just always knew, you know, there was some doubts here and there, but I always knew, like, where I was gonna go at the end, you know. It took me a long time, but I knew, and I mean, everybody doubted me, even, I mean, close friends and close family members doubted me. And sometimes people not going to be, they don't have to believe in your dream. You got to believe your own dream.
Amen. Amen.
You got to believe into the fullest. And you can't just, you know, say you have a dream or say you have a goal And I know a lot of people, for the New Year's, everybody's goal is always to lose weight. That's everybody's goal. And after like the 15th, everybody's like, well, man, you know, shoot, you know. I mean, you have to be active, you know. People don't know you have to be active. Like things I've done in college, preparing for the pros. I mean, I went to a small HBCU, black college, and it was great. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But the chance of you going to the NFL is slim to none. You know, they tell you have a better shot of hitting the lottery than going to the NFL. So what I did was just extra prepare. You know, when you know it's going to be tough for you, you have to prepare beforehand, you know. And I didn't have a lot of help, to be honest. Everybody can believe in your dream and help you out, but at the end of the day, you have to do more than everybody else.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I just give all the praises to God, but I mean, working out 3 times a day with a full-time schedule, waking up at 5:30 to go run when everybody else is partying or just getting in from partying. And I mean, sometimes you can't halfway do it. That's the biggest thing I want to say. You can't halfway do a dream. You can't halfway do a goal. And it was amazing because 3 weeks into the recruiting process of NFL, I haven't got one phone call, one ring, one team walking around the building. And I was just like, man, like, you know, this is my senior year of college. And I was thinking like, man, I have to get a real job. This football thing is, you know, it's going away. So my faith was kind of dimming down. But, you know, sometimes God sends people in your life for a reason. And I remember a kid came up to me, and it was a younger boy. And he told me like, man, I just feel like you can make it, man. You can make it. I'm looking at this little boy like, how you gonna tell me what I can do? You know? Like, so I've been through a lot, and sometimes we look for the outs. You know, I'm thinking about, man, I did hurt my shoulder when I was 6, or I did do this when I was 12. So now I'm looking for an easy way to lay down, a soft spot to lay down and give up. You know, and I just prayed about it, and I prayed about it, and God was like, no, you're not done, you're not done. So what I did was keep digging, keep giving on. And I'll say the week of the draft, basically anybody know anything about sports, basically all the teams know who they want already. So I still haven't got any calls. The draft was that Saturday. By Thursday, I heard from 14 teams in one night. So it was definitely amazing. But once you even attain your goal, you can't stop working right there either,
Right.
Because that's half the battle, just getting there. You gotta stay there from a job, from a position, schoolwork. You gotta keep pushing, keep going on. A million people gonna tell you no. All you need is one person to tell you yes.
That's right.
And it's been amazing. It's been a rodeo. Like they said, when I got picked up in the NFL, it was 4 people in front of me, and they only keeping one spot. So you know. I was thinking like, man, okay, I made it. I thought it was like, you know, well, God, you got me here and I can just chill and relax, you know. But that's definitely not the case at all. I was number 4. I was the last person. I mean, they had me getting them coffee in the morning. They had me cleaning their clothes, you know. And the NFL is all about money. And I remember my second meeting, I was late. One of the older guys told me the meeting started at 8:30 and started at 8. So I walked in at 8:25, and the coach looked at me. He just shook his head. I was like, oh, man, it's done. And it was a letter in my locker. And I was like, oh, okay, it was cool. You know, I got a little letter from the coach. And there was a fine from $1,100 for being late. So from that day on, I started sleeping in the meeting rooms. I mean, and the coach told me, he was like, you know, you don't have any room for error. You know, you got to be perfect. You know, and that's what I was thinking in my head. And he was like, man, you know, you might not make it this year. You could probably make it next year. And I was just thinking to myself, like, nah, that's not what's going to happen. I'm going to make it. And this is the coach. This is like the boss telling me, like, I'm not going to make it. You know, and I was just thinking, like, you know, God, like, change his heart. Like, let him see what's really going on. And I could say the first string guy got hurt. And I wasn't happy to see him hurt. But, you know, I was happy for opportunity. You know? And the second string guy, me and him was real cool. Like, I mean, we did everything together. And he was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm going to get my shot. He said, if I mess up, you're going to be in. I was like, yeah, well good luck, and I meant it. But I remember him going out and dropping a pass, and I was like in the background, and I was just shaking my head like, your time has come. And what I really mean by this is, don't pray for anything and don't expect anything when your time comes, not be ready.
That's right. That's
because
right.
when opportunity comes, you gotta go for it. And sometimes you don't get one shot.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm 26. Wow. Okay, I'm 26 years old, and I mean, everybody told me they written me off. I got injured last year, and they told me like, you pretty much done, man. We'll give you a front office job. Hang it up. And I mean, this whole year I didn't play ball. I was injured. I mean, it was a tough year, but this year, like, I learned so much spiritually that, I mean, just to lean. God told me to lean on Him, lean on Him, lean on Him, lean on Him. And I mean, a lot of brothers know, but that's my cue to wrap up. Oh, okay. I don't know if I was talking too long, but let me know. But it was tough and it was difficult. So I mean, I just want to express, like, sometimes when you reach your goal or your dream or your job that you always wanted, and something comes in your way, like, I mean, you gotta go back and seek God and know, is it really for you, And sometimes your dream job might not be what God would want for you,
right.
Because I mean, I was with the Baltimore Ravens and they have a Super Bowl caliber team, and I wanted to stay there so bad, and I mean, but that's not what really God wanted for me, and it's just amazing that the people you think might be in your corner really don't be in your corner.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Sometimes I learned, like this last past year, like people you call friends, when God's really ready to elevate you to a new level, sometimes you gotta let them go.
That's right. That's right.
But I mean, anybody knows me, like, loyalty is everything. So I mean, it was definitely hard, but God was like either me or them. And that's just the men, and especially with my profession, women come a little easier, and I remember walking past some people, and when I wasn't playing ball, then walking past them again while I'm playing ball, you get a different type of attention, but God gotta set you up to be ready to knock some of that stuff down.
Amen.
Because it's not always gonna be easy. I know Brother Jimmy can tell you about that. Not gonna be always easy. But I mean, I just really thank everybody for the prayers and support from this great church. It's great being home. I mean, I really miss it. I love the preaching here. I love the family here. It's a great atmosphere. I mean, I live in Atlanta. I work out. I train there. And in some churches, I mean, you can't walk in unless you give them your W-2 forms. And I mean, it's crazy out there. So we are blessed to have a church like this, a bishop like we have.
Amen.
I mean, it's definitely crazy. I just want to say thank you again. I don't know what else I can say. If anybody have any questions,
I do. The first night when you was getting ready to go to training camp, how y'all stay in hotels and all that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to know what was going through your mind. The next day, you're going to be out on that field. I mean, you're a rookie. What was just, I mean, was you anxious? Was you nervous? Just what was just going through your mind?
It was all of that. This is something I wrote down when I was 9 years old. I had 10 goals I wrote down when I was 9, and this was number 9. So it was like, I mean, this is my moment. This is something I've been praying for all my life, been working for all my life, and it wasn't coming to pass until later. So I mean, I was pumped. I cried, actually. My first time running out, I cried. Every morning I got down and on my knee and I prayed before walking out. And sometimes it's weird because a lot of people, especially in the entertainment, football, basketball, anything, like, they kind of scared to step up and say, like, they believe in God. So when they see, sometimes when you see one person do it, but the next night I seen a couple other people come down, and it's funny you say that because I didn't have any injuries, but we had prayer cloths here at the time. So I was putting the prayer cloths under my shoes and my shoulder pads and everything. And people was asking me like, man, what's that, man? I was like, man, it's prayer cloth from church. He was like, that's steroids or something? So I had the oil. I used to put the oil on my hands, the caps and head, every morning. And guys, like, I mean, I know they didn't really believe, but they seen me do it so religiously that they thought that there was something wrong, so they started doing it. So, it was like, I mean, I remember my mom sent me jars and jars of oil. I just put it in everybody's locker. So, I mean, you never know, like, what you can do for somebody else.
Amen.
Standing up,